Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's they made what into a TV series? Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, if you can believe it. Season 2, Episode 3, Cave Pac-Man, written by Catherine Derrick. Okay, we are now the third episode into Season 2, and you know all that stuff, how we ended Season 1, where we thought maybe there'd be a bit more of an overarching story? We're now to Episode 3, and it really feels like they've decided not to do that at all.
Yeah.
But let's get into it. Pac is investigating a potentially erupting volcano hidden within an icy mountain called Mount Packley. You know what? You know what? Maybe he'd be less arrogant if everything wasn't named after him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Cersei asked him to do it because he picked up odd seismic reactions. It all looks peaceful enough, and the volcano should be dormant, except something is speeding up an eruption. I know, folks. It's going to blow your mind. It's Brrraains and Dr. Buttocks. I was as stunned as you were.
Yep.
They're using a dragon furnace to make the volcano hotter, turning it into a bubbling spa of lava for Brrraains to relax in. And we learn here that apparently he's a fire ghost. Now, I've taken note of that because I reckon they're going to end up screwing that up later on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a plan. They want the mountain to erupt and turn Pacopolis into a lava spa. But it's getting too hot now. And right in cue, the eruption happens, sending Pac into a tailspin and the ghosts upwards. Pac recovers, and in one of those, at least they do it in a funny way. He sees Brrraains and Dr. B and just eats them. And I was like, oh, well, that was quick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How'd you stop lava, though? Well, Cersei gives them instructions. Haven't made convenient changes to the lemon rocket that Pac is flying. Listen, I know it's a cartoon. But man, when he was like, oh, this is a good time to test out my changes to the... I was like, no. Is this what we're going to do? We haven't
Yeah.
got an answer, so we'll just write a change. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why would he have made changes to the lemon rocket to assist him in this scenario when this scenario was never... It's just a bit like, oh, for goodness sake.
It's the easy answer for every episode. Just make something new.
Yeah, it is that because all he has to do is eat an ice berry, and with that done, he breathes his icy breath into a tube that then transforms the entire rocket into an ice spraying weapon. So saying people like that, how did he? That's such a pre-planned thing.
I mean, I think it would would have been better. It would just say he eats an iceberry and then blows his breath on it. It would have
It would
been.
have been the same thing, right?
It would have been the same thing, but then at least it would have been sticking along with the whole power berry sort of line, I guess.
Yep. Well, he sets about freezing the lava, and while that does work, the volcano won't stop erupting until the dragon furnace is stopped, so Pac must go inside. And inside he finds a prehistoric cave kid. It breaks free and attacks Pac. Cersei says, look, Pac, you can't let the cave kid out of the crater, so he ties it up with his tongue while he waits for the gang to turn up. And there's jokes about the cave kid stinking and Pac being gross because he's got a tongue wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough time to hang around, they all arrive immediately. I thought that was funny. It's like they're just here,
Yeah.
and using the cherry copter, are able to carry Pac and the cave kid back to Cersei's lab. This is watched by a camera slug, and Brrraains, who's now reanimated. Everything happens in this episode so quickly. Sees
Yep.
this and hears Cersei refer to treasure. So thinking treasure, he now wants the cave kid because he thinks it'll lead him to some treasure. Because that's Brrraains all over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spiral and Silly share a laugh over how disgusting Pac is before we cut back to Cersei's lab with Fuzzbit attempting to communicate with it. A fart seems to make them friends and Pac can now release the cave kid. They now discover that the cave kid can actually talk, calling itself Doug Ugg. I laughed at that. I thought that was a good name.
Yeah.
And he's also making eyes at Silly. But he's hungry. That's more of a pressing thing. But guess what? Our hero is eating everything and complaining about being hungry. Pac suggests we should go out to eat, but Cersei reminds them they need to keep Doug Ugg hidden, which they promised to do. I was like, what the hell? Like, oh, he needs to keep hidden, otherwise all these scientists will want to test him and all that. Oh, we'll keep him hidden. Then go out with him. Go get him food and bring it back.
Yep.
Of course, en route, there's tons of hijinks as Doug Ugg gets confused, trying to eat things that aren't actually food but look like they might be. Skibo pushes Doug Ugg, and they must stop him from attacking the bully. And then, just because This episode is kind of random. Ghosts now attack, and the heroes start to take care of them, of course. And then the rest of the ghosts disappear, and we see that Dugug has been kidnapped, and it was a Dr. Buttock's plan. Okay, the next part. Well, we're just flying through this.
I mean, this might be me looking into it, okay, but this episode, okay. I swear, they stole the storyline from that bloody in Encino Man. You see
Oh,
that Brendan Fraser
California
film?
Man. Yeah,
Yeah,
California Man.
California Man,
Yeah, it's called Encino Man. It's
America,
better
yeah,
not. Yeah, America. We call it California Man over in the
yeah.
UK, of course. I mean, yeah, like this whole story, the frozen cave person, it's been done in other stuff as well. But you're right, that's
100%.
kind of the one that jumps to mind. I've only
Mm.
ever seen it. Yeah, I vaguely remember it because it's got
Sean Astin in it.
Sean
Yeah,
Astin, and I don't know who his buddy is, but yeah,
he,
Sean Astin. Yeah.
he gone here. I think that is from.
Oh,
Oh no, Paulie Shaw.
Paulie Shaw.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. There it
yeah.
is. Yes. Okay, we got off target. But yeah, the comparisons are there. But Dugug isn't a mug, and he frees himself falling into Pac's arms. A reporter nearby rudely, I was like, what, you bitch? It's all like, oh, Pac saved someone, but this person isn't important. I was like, what the heck, lady?
Yep, lovely.
But this is also Spiral can try to stick up for Ugg, and doing that reveal his actual identity, which brings an armada of scientists now who want to study him. So yeah, I didn't mind that section. It was a clever way to kind of get to this part of the story.
Yeah,
Later, Spiral feels bad, but Cersei points out, look, this would have happened eventually anyway. No, it wouldn't have. If he just stayed at the lab, they'd gone to get him food, and Spiral had kept his mouth shut. How would it have happened then?
Pack with ate the food on the way back.
Well, yeah, because it's Pac, isn't it? He's such a
Yep.
selfish git. Dugug sadly says that he wants to go back to his own time as he doesn't belong. And I was like, oh, don't they have a time machine that they seem to mostly conveniently forget they have? Well, folks, they've remembered they have it again. They now remember the time machine is there and it's time to use it. Modified to send them back to prehistoric Pac world. So yeah, that's the thing now. There is too much in this episode. This story could have been dragged out over a couple of episodes with Dugug, I think.
Could have been, but it ain't gonna happen.
No, we're burning for it because they make it back, flying out of control, and crash land on the edge of a cliff. It's a close call, and they meet an earlier version of Cersei, who's a wise cave chief who tries to help them with a P-Rex. That's bad. That's not even trying, is it?
It is bad, yeah.
Pac uses a power berry and deals with it easy enough. Dugug meets up with other prehistoric beings, including one that looks like Skibo, and a gang captured. And apparently Dugug can't help them be free because Dugug got no clout. That is so weird. I thought that was so weird. He's like, oh, they're basically like, and I realized, oh, is this like a rethread of the reporter thing that he's unimportant, so his word means nothing. Like no
Yeah.
one's going to listen to him because who cares about Dugug, right?
Mhm.
Weird. Happily, more P-Rexes are en route, and Pac turns into a fiery version of himself to send them packing, which turns them into a hero. It also helps that they now give them fire, passing on the Dugug, who is given the power of the flame if he is careful. So he's now going to be really, really important. And I was like, holy shit. Have you just changed you've changed time. Like you've
Yep.
given them fire and potentially way ahead of when they got it. We should come back and see the entire, and I hate this is ignored.
Yep. So it potentially could have changed the entire history.
I don't even think it's potential. It would have. Because if
Well,
they
would have
didn't
been,
have
yeah.
fire before, and listen, time travel is a messy thing to cover in any show and film. We all know that. But if there's one rule most films and shows get right about time travel, it's basically don't fuck with the past because you'll change your future, you know? That.
Back to the future, man. It's much Back to the Future.
Pac, Spiral, and Silly say their goodbyes and head back home. Back home, they remark on the primitive behavior they saw, suggesting, well, hey, at least we've evolved. But then they kind of noticed that Pac has gone feral, greedily eating food, scoffing it away, and make them go, oh, maybe we aren't as advanced as we think we are. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a great ending joke, was it?
Nope.
This is just a mess of an episode. They throw so much into this, they could have used over a longer period of time. And because of that, nothing gets developed, nothing really comes of it. We burn through the cave pack thing. We start in a way that, like, we could have got to the cave pack thing quicker. You don't have to tell us a story as to how all you have to do is cut. Show starts, right? And it's in Cersei's lab, and they're chipping away at an ice block. And Cersei's like, oh, it's really interesting, Pac, that you found this ice block recently when you were defending Mount Pac. I mean, like, just get to it. Why do we do the whole thing with Brrraains at all? And the whole Brrraains, I want the cave kid because the treasure goes to nothing.
It's almost
Yeah.
like, it's almost like they just had to have them in there just because they had to, you know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You know what? If they weren't in this episode, it wouldn't change a single thing.
Nope.
Yeah, this is all a bit of a waste of time. But that's Pac-Man episode 3 of season 2. You got any thoughts you know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.